There are two options when you're miserable or when you are in danger. You either admit it, and by admitting it, you're now forced to also look for solutions, or you deny it. In order for you to deny it, you need to be able to force people to agree with your denial. Because if everyone else points out that you need to look for help or you need to look for deliverance, your denial won't work. And this is how it goes with worldly people. They are miserable, but they refuse to admit that they need God. They refuse to admit that they cannot live on their own terms all the time. They refuse to admit all of this. They just want to be left alone. They don't want to face any challenge or any difficulty. Now, it's one thing to want to stay away from trouble, but to want to avoid all difficulties that are inevitable in life, that is pathological. And worldly people, with them, it's like this. They're pathological because they don't want to face anything, just want to flee all the time. The only reason you are allowed to exist is if you flee with them on their terms. So if they can't stand, for example, the Germans, you can't stand the Germans either. If they demand you to tolerate your parents to abuse you, you do it. Why? Because they tolerate it from their parents. No matter how bad your parents are towards you, you allow them to victimize and damage you. Then they will accept you. They're miserable, so you ought to be miserable too, on their terms. The moment you make claim onto them, hold on a minute, I matter, I exist too. Just because you expect something doesn't mean I am obliged to give in to it. Yes, I have obligations towards you, but you have obligations towards me also. And all expectations and obligations must be accounted for. So there must be involvement and self-reflection. Involvement and self-reflection are two things worldly people don't want to do. It's too painful for them. They don't want it. So the moment you make claim onto them that you want justice, they turn on you. Let me tell you the truth about worldly people in general. They don't want deliverance. They don't want solutions. They are content with their misery. Now, they're not happy with the misery, nor are they glad with the destruction that comes from the misery, but they are content being miserable. Because when you're miserable, you can be the victim. And when you are the victim, there's nothing you can do. When there's nothing you can do, there's nothing people can expect from you. And when you're the victim and there's nothing you can do, you always have a reason or excuse why you treat others badly. So if you don't want to face any difficulties, and that fleeing from difficulties makes you happy, it intoxicates you, just dump it on someone else, and you either blame the circumstances or you blame the victim upon whom you've dumped it, and you quote-unquote move on. That is what worldly people do. They don't want to be freed from their ball and chain. They don't. They love the ball and chain. It gives them a sense of security, which is false, but it's still a sense of security they cling on to. They claim ownership of their misery. Let's say you have a group of people that are all miserable. And let's say now that you enter in and you're happy, you're joyful. Your happiness will disrupt their misery. Because now they can see that things can be different. So now they realize that they have natural obligations to work for a better future and to work on solutions. Now they see that they have no right and no permission whatsoever to be miserable, because their misery affects everyone in the human species. So now they're convicted and they don't want this. So what will happen? They will perceive you as an invader, as if you're robbing them. So they'll come after you to make you miserable. And when they can't succeed to make you miserable, they'll escalate, trying to kill you. That is how they are. They claim ownership of their misery. And they don't care what that misery does to someone else, because it's their misery, so they have the right to control the misery. It's all about control with these people. So they're miserable, and you have to find a way to deal with their misery by leaving their misery intact. even if it means becoming miserable yourself and becoming sick just so that they are at ease. That is what worldly people want. They are perverted beings. So, that is what you're dealing with. When Christ left Nazareth in his early 20s, the people he left behind had a negative view of him because they got narcissistic supply by looking down on Christ. When Christ returned back in his early 30s and he had his own ministry and miracles were worked through him, they were upset because the men they looked down upon to feel good about themselves now became this big and great teacher that even heals people. So now they were forced to face their own misery with the pressure to do something about it. And oh dear, they were upset and they turned on Christ. That is how it goes with many people in this world. Don't think that just because you have a breakthrough and you have solutions that people are happy for you. They're not. If they are not even willing to make effort for themselves, why would they be happy when you're making effort for yourself? If they are not willing to make effort for themselves, they absolutely will not make effort for anyone else either. Know what you're dealing with. Many of them simply don't want to be free. Freedom means being responsible and being involved. They don't want to be involved, but they do want to benefit from things working out. They don't want to be involved, but they do want things to work out. So how do they benefit from things working out if they are not involved? They do it by scamming others and by draining others. In order to drain others, you need to play the victim. That is how they do it. You don't allow worldly people to control you, you are in trouble. That is the warning in every society. You either submit to the control and share in their misery at their own expense, either for faith or better concede your well-being and your birthright, or else. Is that what you want to live under, believer? Under this threat against your well-being and your safety? Because others who want to face life don't want to participate in solutions? Come on now. So, I'm asking you this again. Do you want relief or do you want deliverance? Be at peace.